Hey, Anonymous. Be right there. Okay. How's it going? I need to use my voice so that it cannot be so raspy. Give me just a minute. I gotta put my prices. I'm good. I'm doing well. How are you? All right, hold on. Let me. A little tired. That's how I feel. It's been like 100 degrees here. And it makes me so tired. All right. All right. So, first question. Nice to have you here, Anonymous. First question is for somebody who wants to be anonymous. I actually have a friend on here who goes by Anonymous, but a client friend of mine who is not going to be in the chat. Like I tell you always, please, and this goes across the board, do not text me while I am trying to tune in to get your question. All it does is delay the time. It makes you run out of time, and uh, yeah. So this is across the board. Everybody knows this. I like to repeat myself. Um, when I first come in, even though hardly nobody's in here. Okay, so we're gonna do the question for you. Okay, I'm gonna read it really quickly. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so Jeremiah Samantha, I already did my sage of pray, but come into this question for anonymous. Actually, I'm going to call him E. I won't say the name, but that's how they're going to know who I'm speaking about. Otherwise, they're going to get confused thinking it is my friend online on the chat. Okay? So, E, the question, Jeremiah Samantha, is uh, now that it's been 2.5 weeks, should he send this drafted email to her? S. So you're E, she's S. I am I am computing that into your real names. Uh Not out loud. So let's do the timer is 10 minutes. All right, give me 1 minute before I start. Okay, I'm gonna let you text me a yes or no. Are you sending this in order to get a reply back? Is the motive to correct her and like say what you need to say, but is this because you want her? Because I'm remembering back to the old question, and I said, don't just never text her again, that you should, or email. Please don't not email her ever again. And you said, I'm not going to go against, or I'm going to go against spirit. So now you're kind of not going against spirit, and you're going towards what I had originally said. It just maybe took some time for you to feel that way. And at the time of the reading, maybe you didn't feel that way, which is totally fine. We change our emotions all the time and our decisions all the time. So, all right, let's see and I'm going to add in Jeremiah and Samantha. What is the energy? Right, right. I just like to be right, and I know I was right. I didn't think that you should have immediately responded to her, but I didn't think that you should completely ghost her forever. That was really the answer. Okay, right, exactly. No, I agree with that. If you're stuck, you shouldn't do anything. That's what the hangman is. The hangman, if you see the card, he is hanging upside down by a tree, and there's light coming surrounding his head. That means he's taking the time, or he or she is taking the time to be enlightened, to not make rash decisions, to think this through, to make a draft email. So you're doing the right thing, especially with that hangman. The hangman sometimes is a delay, but it's not a negative delay. All right. So let's try to get as much as we can out of these 10 minutes. Um, all right. So I'm not going to be looking at the phone. I have my phone on silent. I'm just going to try to get in touch with her. So S, please come in. I would like to see, what kind of energy is around you, what kind of energy you're in. Um, the only question I'm having is is the email that you've created, is it negative? Is it like calling her out that that's not what, like, I'm not going to read the email because I'm sure that it's long, and I just don't do that. Unless you want to pay me for it. That is it. And everybody knows that. It's not, don't take it personal. Um, we'll just see. All right, I'm starting the time. Starting the clock right now. Okay. Okay. So the question is, E wants to know, now that it's been 2.5 weeks since S went silent, uh, after sending multiple emails, should E send this drafted email? Okay. Jeremiah and Samantha, first of all, give us a yes or no. Is this something that S will be open to hearing. I want to know if it's a whole bunch of criticism. That's all I really wanted to know. Which direction did you go with the email is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So it's really funny because I just saw the High Priestess and the Hangman. It didn't come out yet, though. All right. Should E send S the drafted email? And I just saw the death card. How funny. Okay. So I have the Ten of Swords first. Are you letting her know that, like, this is over and done with? If it's not, then that's how she's gonna feel. To me, no, that's not what it is. Oh, it's different. Okay, so the Queen of Cups is representing S. The Ten of Swords represents her silence. All right, so forget what I just said. This represents her silence. Swords are communication. She ended it. She went quiet. You are the Four of Cups to the Hangman. You're trying to be enlightened. You're trying to think. You're taking your time. But the Four of Cups to me is showing that you're a little, I don't know what the word is, but they're saying unscathed or scathed. I don't know what it is. But like your ego is a little hurt, or your feelings are a little hurt that she just went silent. And so if you're sending this based on your own emotions, it probably isn't the best thing to do, but let's see. I'm going to basically try to say, how would she respond to it? Let's try to get that in there. Yeah, see, I got the death card, I got the hangman, just like you did. The death card is, if you truly want happiness and that's what you're going for, you really should put an end to this on both sides. So if she's being silent, she stopped talking for 2.5 weeks, and that like jolted you. That did something to you. That made you feel like, what the hell? All right. And so it kind of diversion. There was a diversion, a pivotal diversion where you're kind of you're not looking at it as logically as you would normally, as practically as you normally would. You feel like you need to like have the last word type thing. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. It just feels like you don't really need to send this email, but for some reason, because she stopped, because she was the person who stopped and was silent, it feels like you kind of need to say the last word. And I will take away the ego. I don't think you have an ego, because I know you so well that I know that there's a reason for you making this email and wanting to send it. And I know that you're highly intelligent and that you kind of just, you're kind of wanting to know, how is she going to receive this email? But Spirit is saying you need to be focusing on your 10 of Cups, what makes you the happiest, your fulfillment, instead of worrying about S. All right. The death card unless you see a transformation in her, which you've told me based on the BPD, it goes it goes in and out, right? Like that's not something that can really be like, let's say you didn't like her because she was lazy. Well, somebody could change that, right? They can start getting motivated. They can start getting up earlier, making their bed when they wake up. There's change to be made. But when somebody has BPD and you know everything about it, you know that there's not a whole lot of room for growth for her, if that makes sense. So let me pull three cards. How will she feel if she reads your email if you were to send it? This is what I'm trying to say. Like, is your email overall? Because she feels like it would be kind of like, you already hurt me. You already, well, I guess she doesn't really have a lot of hurt from the way that you described it. But the Five of Swords feels like she's going to see this email from you and like all of a sudden be like, oh my God, he's reaching out. Why is he reaching out? When she's like chose to kind of disconnect. Um, and then to read the email, if the email is just telling her any kind of criticism, she's going to immediately feel attacked. Um, she's not going to like it. I think you should keep the email for right now. I think you should hold on to it. It's so weird I'm getting the same cards that you did. The Hierophant. You would really, I'm going to put pause. You have 2 minutes left. Let me ask you this. Yes or no? In totality, does your email basically show her a mirror of what she's not seeing for herself? And you're like telling her, you're only saying you want to have, you know, intimacy with me and nothing else because blah 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 and yada yada yada. Like, is it an email that she really needs to hear? I don't see you answering me yet. Yeah, but I'm gonna ask Spirit. So he feels very stuck right now. He wants to know, is it in his best interest to send the email that he has prepared, that he has drafted to us at this time? Yeah, see, they're going along with what I'm feeling. Yes, the email is why, yep, to a man who walked out of your place during because you were numb. It doesn't make sense. It's mirror. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna start those 2 minutes left. What else do you? Yeah, they're saying you need to just be a bachelor and move on. You need to focus on yourself and like moving forward from her. I'm seeing the death card as you need to walk away. This is also a Scorpio card. Scorpio's very emotional and they keep it in. And so this I also would like kind of describe her. I think you need to carry on, carry on without saying a word. Maybe keep that email. Don't disregard, don't delete it. But at this time, you need to just be a bachelor, move on with your life. She ain't the one for you. And she doesn't need your wisdom. I know that's hurtful, but like she doesn't she doesn't need it. She doesn't want it. She wants to hear you say, "Yes, I'll have that type of relationship with you." Other than that, she doesn't want to hear it. So why stimulate her to get obsessive again? That's all you're going to do. If you send this, really that drafted email is more for you. You need to not be the, I don't want to say the preacher, but like you don't need to teach her. You don't need to say, this is why you're doing this. Forget it. You don't want to be with her. You don't want to deal with the ups and downs. So you need to just lay low. Don't say things that are going to actually like bring her back from the dead. Because right now, I feel like you should be at peace, or you should be trying to be at peace with the decision to end things. Even if your text, or sorry, your email is like, this is why I can't be with you, it's just going to stir the devil, like stir the toxicities in her. Time's up. If that did not fully answer it, like I said, you can extend it for $10 more. If you feel like I answered it, then we can stop. But that's what I'm feeling. I don't think you should send it. I think that she doesn't need to hear it. She doesn't need to hear it from you. And even though you are very intelligent, you know everything there is, like you're like an encyclopedia for her BPD. I just don't think she should hear it from somebody that she's been on and off seeing, dating. I don't know how you would describe it, for however long now, years, right? I I just think you would be bringing the devil back in, and then that's going to affect you because then she's going to start with the emails again. Right now, you should feel like you've been dodging a bullet. I answered it. Okay, good. And my voice is so raspy and hoarse, so please don't take that as my tone. I'm just trying to speak because I had the oral surgery and I'm not used to talking yet. I was thinking if she reached out, it would make more sense, but your message makes sense. It is more for me than her. I never break silence ever. 100%. It is something like, and now, as your friend, you could send me your email and at my leisure, let me read it and go off of it. But like, as far as like questions, yeah, I do include, if somebody sends me a bunch of screenshots saying like, this is what's going on with me and so and so. I, however long it takes me to read that, it goes towards their reading. And I've been comparing all week. I've been like looking at other people and what they charge, and I charge hardly nothing. But see, like, but why are you holding on to whether she will reach out again? That's why they're saying, Spirit is saying, forget about her. Forget about her. She's done. She's in your past. You need to let the dead rest. You don't need to be bringing the dead back to life. And whether she does reach out or not, don't let that be why you want to reach out. Allow things to happen organically, and who knows, you might meet somebody and fall madly in love with them, or you might be super busy with career. And like, I just think that you need to fully cut this. I really do. I know it's hard though, because when we are bonded like that, it's very difficult not to feel like we're being pulled by them, because we are energetically, spiritually, good, bad. We are being pulled by them every time they think about us. We are being pulled, and we have to use our high priestess, our own gut and intuition, to not fall into that. Right now, you have it good. You're at peace. She stopped messaging you. Who cares why? Allow that to be and find your happiness and your peace. All right, I'm going to take a short break and then see if Marissa is coming on. This is a nuts bond. A nuts? What is a nuts bond? Oh, a crazy bond. So much you don't know Ben sees the spiritual tie. No, I understand the spiritual tie. I just don't understand a lot about BPD. Of course, I understand about the spiritual tie. All right, honey. I hope that helped you. I say don't delete your email, but don't look at it again. Don't read it again. Put it away. That is for you. If you think about texting her, friggin' write it and then rip it up. Like, do not send her anything at this point. You're just going to awaken the beast. And for some reason, this person does have that tie with you. And so inside you, you've got to admit that you're kind of missing the pull and the takeaway. You're in a weird delusional way. You kind of liked when she needed you or wanted you. And now she went silent and you're like, huh? When you should be saying, thank you, God. All right, I'm taking a break. Let me see. BRB. I need some water. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I'll message you tomorrow. Hey, Michelle. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, if you have a question, let's do it right now because my other friend is about to come on. She paid for 3 questions. So, uh, let me know. 3 questions takes a while. Otherwise, we could always do a reading. Alrighty. Maybe you're not on here, Michelle. Are you here, Michelle? All right, Jeremiah and Samantha, thank you so much for that question. An answer for E. We got clarity. I appreciate you. Oh, okay. Marissa, are you here? All right, I'm gonna go do a couple of things till I hear back. Okay, I'm taking a quick break. Send me your question. Is that your regular first one?
This song, I mean, it's a tearjerker for sure. I had a pet sister named George. He was cool, but he made me really bored. So I gave him to my mom, and she loved him very much because animals are better than me. They try to cancel me, bother me, stop bothering me. I don't even like my dog. Carrots, baby. I had a pet sister named George. He was cool, but he made me really bored. So I gave him to my mom, and she loved him very much because animals are better than they try to bother me, stop bothering me. I don't even like my dog. Carrots,
Okay, Marissa, if you're here, put I'm here again, please. I gotta make sure that my show is taping. Free Karen Reed. If nobody knows who Karen Reed is, y'all have been living underneath a bridge. Is that what they say? Living underneath a house, a bridge, a rock? A rock. Not guilty today. I'm so excited. All right, let me just make sure. Yep, It is being taped. Hi, Marissa. Okay, here we go. Let's start yours. We got 3 questions in a row at almost 8 o'clock. We could do this by 8:30. We've got 40 minutes, and they're each 10, so we could probably get off by then. All right, sounds good. So let's do your first question. So, Jeremiah and Samantha, thank you so much for the previous question. Let's let those energies please leave. Let's bring in Marissa and let's bring in Greg. So Greg, please feel free to come in. The first question, my mom, sure, I don't mind. The first question is going to be her regular first question. Uh, you're welcome. Do you want me to start with you or your mom? Before I push this start button. Okay, cool. All right, the question is Jeremiah and Samantha Marissa wants to know, Greg, what are your current feelings, thoughts, energy, and emotions for Marissa? What are your current. Hi, Joe. I remember Joe. How are you doing? All right. Greg, what are your current feelings, thoughts, energy, and emotion for Marissa towards Marissa? I'm going to be talking a little funny because it still hurts down in the jaw area here inside. But at least I can talk now. In the last reading, I'm doing good. In the last reading, my voice was so raspy. It sounds like I have like an attitude, but I really don't. I'm like, sorry. All right, here we go. Start pulling cards. All right, what is your energy, thoughts, feelings, and emotions when you think about Marissa? And I'm asking for current thoughts. All right. Ooh. All right, what does this mean? Hmm. Okay, so first he's identifying himself as 2 different kings. So the kings obviously have different traits. So the King of Swords is more direct communication, and then the King of Wands is more like yeah, like how they're feeling romantically. Um I like that he sees himself as kings. Uh that's good. Then it's the Judgment card. So a decision is coming. The Ace of Swords is usually like the truth is being said, and I think he's talking about his life. All right. So then he's saying like I want to have an honest conversation with Marissa about me walking away from things that no longer serve me. And then boom, here you are, the death card, the Scorpio. I think that he wants to know, can, because the death card talks about endings, but it also talks about transformations. I think he's wanting to know or searching for the answer of like, is is what we have just over, or could there be a transformation? If I walk away from what no longer serves me in my life and I go after Marissa, do I have a chance? Do we have a chance? So let's see what else he puts. So he's more on the like he's really like checking his heart and like looking back into the past. So the Four of Swords shows that in the last 0 to 4 weeks, he's been thinking about the Three of Swords, which is like pain, any pain he inflicted on you, if he hurt you back when you guys were together and it fizzled out. Um, this also shows that he thinks about you at night when he lays his head down on his pillow, when things are quiet, and also uh, that he could be having dreams about you that are coming through, and it's his when we have dreams and they're like kind of nightmares, sometimes it's like whatever we're thinking about. So I'm kind of translating for him is that he wants to know, have you forgiven him? And if so, does he have a chance? So I feel like he's woken up a couple of times from some dreams that didn't feel good, that he felt like um, his heart hurt, almost like chest pain, and like not able to breathe, just maybe 1 to 2 times. And he doesn't remember really the dream, but he knows that you were the context of it, that it had to do with you. And so I think it's just him in the 3D knowing that he wants to come towards you. But uh psychologically and subconsciously, while he's sleeping, he's thinking, well, what if things don't go well? Um, so this is not a bad reading. This is him being very honest with himself about wanting to come towards you. Yeah. See, look, his secret, the moon, is that you are the one that makes him happy. It's you're the person, and this is not comparing you to somebody else. It's just showing that he's keeping this to himself. That that the Ten of Cups is you, and that right now he doesn't have an answer if he is your Ten of Cups. Does that make sense? He's and this shows me that he's so close to coming through because he is having these actual physical and neurological and emotional um not episodes, but I don't know, feelings, I guess. So let's see what else. How do you feel about her? All right. So at the end of the day, he has romantic feelings for you. He wants to pursue you. Um, he is very aware that he needs to ask for a divorce before doing so. That he's kind of stuck where he's at, but is finally seeing the light. The light at the end of the tunnel is that the Eight of Swords is what's the word I want to say? Almost manipulative because the person thinks that they're trapped. They think that they can't get out, but it's so easy. They're not tied tightly. They can easily undo themselves, take off their blindfold, and walk out of those swords. Okay? Um, so he just needs to open his eyes to see that he's not stuck, that he has a choice, and that he's going to get to the other side here soon. Um, so here you are. We have 1 minute left. You're the Six of Cups. So you're the ex girlfriend that he has a deep feelings for still. He is worried that it's been a long time since you guys have uh he he's wondering, like, how do you feel that, like, you guys haven't, that, like, when you texted him, that things kind of fell off after a week? And the Queen of Swords is like, what questions does she have of me? And he wants to let you know that he has feelings of love still with you and that he's coming quickly. The trajectory is that the want and the desire is there to come towards you in a loving way. But he has a lot of burdens to bear right now. So he's asking for a little bit more patience. Um, he's like, I have made the sole decision to get divorced, which it shows right here, to file for paperwork and to walk away from his marriage. And that not a day goes by that he doesn't think about you. But he also doesn't want to come in to your life saying like, oh yeah, my wife. Like he doesn't want to disappoint you again. He doesn't want to hurt you again. He only wants to come in if he knows for sure that he's gonna end that relationship. I think I made him open up his eyes when I sent that text. Oh yeah, because you didn't just say, "Hey, congratulations." You said, "But I always thought it would be me." That's huge. Okay, that was that one. What are we doing for the second one? Okay, I thought so. Joe or Jabushin, YouTube, um, look at my pinned note. Okay. Look at my pinned note and you could send in for a question. If you want to stick around, it's going to be a while. You could get a free yes or no question with the pendulum. So think about it. I can do them in between Marissa's questions. I'm going to start her second question. She has 3 total more. So if you think of a question, make sure you know what you want to say. As soon as uh, her next question is up, post it and I'll answer it. Perfect. So, Greg, I would like you to please come in. Last time you were so funny, and I even told my mom about the situation where he was sitting next to me and like we were laughing and what you were saying about me looking at him up and down and like that then he like went like a flash, like an orb. He almost like turned into an orb of energy and then like poof, he was gone. And I've never had that happen before. So with that question we just asked, I mean I do feel like he's answering the question, but I don't feel he is right here with me yet. It, it was oh I still need to go watch it because I was like, that's never happened in my life. I mean, yes, do they sit next to me? Yes. But they usually just sit next to me calmly. They don't really joke around and do all that stuff. And they definitely don't turn into an orb and fly away like a flash of energy ball light. Like, that was just super cool. So cool. So cool that I could never make that up. I would never even think of that happening. You know what I mean? That's why it was so cool. Okay, so Greg, shake it off. That question and answer was very intense. Shake it off. Shake it off. Come in, come closer, and we're going to be a fly on the wall. Fly on the wall. Marissa needs to see what's going on in that house, what's going on between you and Emily. All right. So let's start this. Jeremiah and Samantha, please give me eyes and ears in that house in pertaining to their relationship. Yeah, you had to tell Mark about it. I swear to God, if he does, it was different. They're always like, especially when I'm doing readings, that's when I know, like, okay, they're here. They're sitting right here, but they're quiet. They speak to me like through my brain, not like they are a human next to me. Does that make sense? They look like the person they are. It's hard to explain, but they usually telepathically talk to me. Okay. I'm the one talking out loud. They're not. This time it was like it was as if it was completely 3D. All right. Here we go. Jeremiah and Samantha, please show me eyes inside that house. Let me be a fly on the wall as to what's going on in that house and that relationship between Greg and Emily. Okay, I do have the chills. All right, Greg, please come through. I could feel him. See, this is how I describe it. It's almost like, okay, like my wall is right there. It's like I'm seeing through the wall, through across town, and like they're just coming. They're like a little person, and then they get bigger and bigger as they come towards me, and then they're here. That's how it is. So I see him. I see him, but he's pretty far back. But he is walking, so he'll be here soon. And I'll tell you when. All right, here we go. What is going on inside the house between Emily and Greg? She thinks that he wants a divorce because he must be cheating on her. Oh my God. All right. Let me pull all the cards out. See, she won't just allow him to say, I rushed into this. I shouldn't have. I should have been the man. I should have thought about it more for her, for you, Emily, and for me and our families. I am taking all responsibility. Okay, he's here. I got chilled everywhere. He's here. But he told me he went like this, like he's going to be quiet, but he's right here. All right. So I don't even know what I was just saying. Okay, so I'm just going to go with it. So I'll show you the cards. Okay, so the Hierophant, that is the vows. That is the traditional, description of the marriage. Okay. The Three of Swords, hearts are being broken due to a decision that has been thought about for a long, long time. There was an honest communication regarding his feelings. Oh, thank you. Yeah, he was taking complete ownership of rushing it, that even though she really wanted it, she wanted the ring, she wanted the engagement, she wanted to get married, even though she was the one that was really, her and her mom, rushing the process, he as a man is taking responsibility, that he should have said, let's slow down here and really think about what we're doing. All right. So it does show that he made a judgment that is hurting both him, her, their families, etc. But he's being honest with her, he's being honest with himself. And he is saying, like, I care about you so much, but the connection that we once had, I just don't feel it anymore on a romantic. Like, I love you, I care about you as a person, and if you ever needed help, if you were ever on the side of the road with like a flat tire, you could call me. I am that type of person. Um, I would still do anything for you, but I misguided this relationship. And as the man, I should have been more mature about it. I shouldn't have allowed. Wow, he's calling it railroading. So, like, we would use gaslighting, right? He's saying, you guys kind of railroad me. You started talking about getting dresses. You started trying to start planning this wedding when I told you that I didn't want, like, even though they got married at a justice of the peace at the courthouse, they were still planning on actually, like, they rushed to get married, but they were like a year later going to have the big wedding. I don't know if I ever told you that, but that is the plan, or was the plan. It was just that they, wanted, they weren't thinking when you're in that, like, intoxicating happiness, and like people are looking at you and depending on you. Oh, they did. I still see it though. If she didn't buy a dress, then I maybe they yeah, I could see that they would have an after party, but I also see that, like, they were going to, the two options at the time, Marissa, at the time, was, if you want kids early, like soon, then we can't afford a big wedding. So I think that that's why they rushed to do the court wedding for $50 and then did an after party so that it didn't cost much, because he said you could have one or the other. So thank God he's like thinking about getting out of this before they started rushing into having kids, right? Like, thank God. Um, so him saying that he loves her but not in love with her, this caused conflict. This caused an argument, and she just can't believe him. She's saying, you have to be romantically, like, liking somebody else. You must be cheating on me. You must be um pursuing somebody else. You must have, like, feelings for somebody else, because she just can't accept that he wants to walk away and break up. Like, she just can't understand, like, and that's why he said, like, they railroaded me. Like, they made all the decisions and just wanted me as the man to be like, okay. And I said, okay. And I was not smart about this. Yes. I agree. Do you want to continue? It is ending in 5 seconds. 15 seconds, sorry. Okay, I was going to say this one I feel like we should continue. All right, so let me start. 5 more minutes on the clock. Go ahead and send it through. I'm going to take 1 minute. I'm not leaving. I want to ask a couple questions while you're doing that to myself. Ooh, thank you, Jesus. I will tell you what this one was. After you send the money, I will tell you what I was asking. Okay, thank God. See, I was fucking right. I got it. Let me know if you're here. When you come back in, Marissa, just say I'm here. Okay. So while you were gone, I asked 2 questions to Spirit, to myself. The first question was, has Greg ever gotten Emily P? Okay, so it's answering again. Pregnant. No. Okay, that's when I was like, thank God. Yeah, you should have seen me. I was like, thank God. The other question I said was, is it true, Greg, what I just saw in the reading, that she wanted to have kids quickly and you told her she could choose either a nice wedding or the kind they had, and then starting, like, it's either starting a family and not a big expensive wedding, or vice versa. And yeah, I got a yes. So that is true. He was like, we can't afford both. Back at the time, he was like, you either want a nice ring and a courthouse wedding with the party after, and then, we'll think about having kids quickly, or we can do up this wedding, but I will have to give you a smaller ring, and we can't think about kids yet. So that's what happened. Okay. So let me put 5 minutes on the clock to continue to see what else comes in. Okay, Jeremiah and Samantha, Greg and Emily, please show me anything else going on in the relationship that Marissa should know about. I am being a fly on the wall. Show me, give me ears and eyes to relay to Marissa what's going on inside that house and inside that relationship. What's going on? Okay, I'm hearing the words disruption. Disruption. Ooh! Disruption, and the card that came out is a 10 of Swords. This is silence. This is, I am donezo. This is endings. This is uh, heavy, 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 heavy energy. Next card, the devil. She's feeling not good enough. She is going through a lot of emotional damage. Um, but we all go through that. We've all lost loves of our lives, right? We just have to get through it. You walk through it. You don't run. You focus on yourself. What I want to ask is is she at the point where she is going to allow this to happen? Like, is she gonna stop fighting it? Is she gonna stop fighting Greg? So disruption. See, after that, she wants things to go back. She wants to fix things, but at the same time, I think that she knows that he's dead ass serious and that it would take a freaking miracle to change his mind at this point. How crazy that I would say change his mind and the judgment comes out. Because the judgment is like, look, that's all of us in the 3D, and then we're like looking like that's like God, an angel, God upstairs, like making the actual decisions for us, leading us down the right path for us. Um, she's definitely trying to hold on to him. Yeah. So this is how she's feeling. Like, he's my stability. He's my husband. I'm in love with him. He's my soulmate. And with the Four of Pentacles, like, I don't want to let him go. But it's like, have you realized that it's not your choice? I'm going to ask her that. When I asked that, I just got chills everywhere. The moon came out. Okay, what is the moon? What is the moon? Geez, all the cards are flying. What is the moon here? See, she thinks he's cheating on her. The Seven of Swords is cheating, lying, betrayal, manipulation, schemer shit. She thinks he must be cheating on me to leave me. That's not true. It's what she's making, it's what she's saying to make herself feel better, if that makes sense. Psychologically, she's trying to protect herself, and she doesn't even know she's doing it. I don't think she knows she's doing it. Like, I feel like she needs to see a psychiatrist and be in therapy. Like, it's like she is wearing rose colored glasses. No matter how honest he is being, she's like, well, if it's another woman, like, we can work it out. We can work it out. Like, I hate to admit this, but there was a guy, I wasn't even in love with him. There's the end of it. But I wasn't even in love with him, but we were together for 2 years. He took care of my, like, all the finances. I found out he was cheating on me. And yet I sat there and said, do you want to work this out? And that is not me, but that was me because I was like, well, everything as I know it is gone. Like, I'm not going to be able to afford this, da, da, what's going to happen? And so I feel like she's almost in the like begging stage of like, even if there's somebody else, like, I'll get over it. I'll get over it. And he's like, I'm not cheating on you. which I get because I had to do it in my marriage and I was blind, but I wasn't stupid. Exactly. Let me pull another couple cards, even though the time ran out. What else do we need to know? Yeah, I am hearing the word limbo, and then the hangman comes. So right now they're in limbo. That does not mean he's gonna change his mind, Marissa. It just means like he has told her and expressed himself to her m- more than a few times, and at this point he's like, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna sit back and let this sink in to you. But he is showing me that he's told her it would be good for your mental health to get out of the house, to go stay with your mom for a little bit. Um, because just seeing me is hurting you. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he's still so respectful. The Empress, like he's still treating her like like very kind and very like I'm so sorry, like he really is. Uh but yeah, he shows me the world card and says, but life goes on. When things happen to us in our lives, we need to just figure it out and keep putting one foot in front of the other. And life is hard. And I'm sorry that I'm the one that is doing this to her, but it would be more offensive if I just stayed. It's a really tough situation. 100%. Okay, what's your third question? You and me have like such similar, like, me and you have gone through so much of the same shit. But at least you have had feelings for someone, in this case, Greg, after Chris. Like, after my ex, I've never had feelings like that for anybody else. And it's been, let's see, we broke up in January 2012. Then I was the other woman. How silly is that? For 2 years. So January 2014. So it's been 11 and a half years, bro. Yes, and it hasn't been easy, but I made it through. Exactly. It's not easy at all. Even when it's your decision. You know what I mean? Even like me, I divorced him. Like it was my decision, but even then, it's tough. Of course, it's tough. Yeah, you made a promise to that person, and the other person. That's why I'm just like so scared to date because I'm so scared that everybody's a cheater and a liar. Okay, text me your next question. I'm gonna take a break. Let me know if you want me to take a break now and then do yours and your mom's, or if you would like me to do yours and then take a break and do your mom's. let's do my last one and then take a break so I could grab her. Sure, that works. They Oops. Hold on real quick. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay. Let me read your text. Aw, so nice. The person I did a reading for earlier says, thanks again. That was an awesome reading. You're very talented. And it comes from somebody who is also psychic. Makes me feel really good. All right, here we go. Your next question. Trying to think of how I want to ask this. How soon after will he communicate with me after walking away from her? And are we still looking at July timeframe? I get what you're saying, I think. Um, how soon after he walks away from her will he communicate with you? Are we still looking at July timeframe? How soon after walking away from her will he communicate with me? Okay, perfect. Jeremiah and Samantha and Greg. So Emily, you can leave. Greg, if you want to add, if you've already thought about this. If not, it would be a question for Spirit. So let's start it. Okay. So when will Greg reach out to Marissa, and will it be during the process of leaving her? Will it be after he files? Like, when we want an update of the time frame in which he reaches out to Marissa, and will it be after he walks away from Emily, or will it be during the process? What do you see? Hi, Rob. I was thinking about you earlier. How are you? All right, let's get timing. Timing. When is Greg going to reach out to Marissa? Will it be before or after he has left Emily? And will that still be July? Okay. So the want and the desire to reach out to you is now, but he knows that he can't yet. All right? For multiple reasons. So his reasoning is especially with what we just learned in the last question. She thinks he is leaving her because he must be cheating on her. So now he's thinking, well, now I can't reach out to Marissa and like start a friendship because if Emily finds out, this is going to hurt her even more and it will it will put her deeper into a depression if she thinks, even thinks, or believes, or whatever, that this was going on before it actually was. Okay? So he's thinking of all of the options. So that's one. I really want to reach out to her now. Um, I'm also a coward. I'm also scared to reach out. Okay. So that's another one. Third one is like, but there's nothing wrong. Like he's kind of talking to himself, saying, like, I'm not reaching out to have sex with Marissa. I'm not reaching out to start a relationship. I'm just kind of want to hear her voice, to maybe make my heart flutter. He literally just said that. To maybe make my heart flutter, while I'm going through this shit. And the like he's kind of showing me a very like smoky room, right? Where you can't really see what's going on. Um but then there's you with like a light shining on you, like a spotlight. And he's like all of this yuckiness is going on in my life, but like Marissa has nothing to do with that part of my life. She is sanctified. Like she is not in the dimensions of these walls. She's not in this relationship, and I'm not taking her into it. So it's gonna come down to whether he listens to his own heart or if he thinks, well, this is my wife and I don't want to like have her think that the reality is what she thinks it is right now, that I'm cheating. So, but I still have to show you the card. So it shows that with the King of Cups, that he has an emotional attachment to you and that he still has romantic feelings. And that, like, if I just pulled two cards to answer your question, I would say yes, we're still on time for July. All right. Because the Ace of Wands for me is 0 to 30 days, or it's the new month. So the next new month would be July. All right. So that's how it's starting. But then it's showing what's happening right now in the relationship is they're fighting, they're not getting along, there's a lot of emotions going on because he wants a divorce. Um, so then it shows that he does reach out for you or reach out to you with the Ace of Pentacles. That he reaches out to you, that yes, he's gonna flirt with you, he's gonna play with you, he's gonna text you. He's saying like, I want to be able to get into my car to go to work and like anticipate that we're gonna text throughout the day and like she's gonna make me get through this and she's gonna like, yeah, like she's gonna make my heart flutter. And I'm like, he goes, I kind of feel bad though because my soon to be ex is like crying every day, but at the same time, I have to listen to my own heart, and my own heart is making me still want to go through with reaching out to Marissa. Then it shows spirit. What spirit feels is that he will be the magician. He is planning to reach out to you. That you need to just kind of, yeah, manifest it and allow it to be. Don't focus too much on the negative, focus on the positive. But it does say that he reaches out to you after he walks away from her, after he lets her know, which he's already doing right now. And then the judgment. So it's like, yes, it will happen. Because these two cards come after the magician, that makes me feel like he might wait until after things calm down a little, which could still land the trajectory of communication to be July. It's just that he, Spirit is saying things have to kind of unfold before we actually have a specific answer. Um, and that if it feels right to him or not, right? Like if he can talk to you um as a friend at first while going, see, okay, Jeremiah just spoke up. He's like, once he like files for divorce, then yeah, 100% he's gonna reach out to Marissa. But while it's like right now, it's really high intensity in that household, and he does owe it. You got to look at it this way: if you were the wife, he's gotta he's gotta make sure she's okay out of plain human respect and care. You know what I mean? Like, he can't just kick her to the curb. He needs to do it delicately. She is somebody very much like myself. Okay, good. Very much like myself that needs to be handled with kid gloves because I am very sensitive. I'm very emotional. You wouldn't guess that, but I am. And she is extremely, way, way worse than I am. There's a timer. She's way worse than I am. So it's like he just wants to get her out of this cuckoo, cuckoo, like I'm not cheating on you, and get her kind of, I don't know why they're showing me like, you know how you had oral surgery and you were not well. You were not well. You couldn't take care of yourself. So your mom had to like get you situated, get you some drinks, get you some pillows, and like nurture you a little bit. And then she's able to walk away and you're able to do the rest. So I think that that's all we need is for him to be there to say, like, no, this is not because I'm cheating on you. And for her to figure out that she's going to be more hurt because she'd rather believe he's doing this because he cheated on her because she feels like she can fix that. But if he's leaving her for the reasons we know, which is that he just doesn't feel that way towards her anymore, that is 10 times worse than you're leaving me for another woman because we'll get back together. Like, we'll get back together. But her having to understand, like, he's leaving me just because he doesn't feel it. Ooh. So that's where the that's where she needs to get to, and that's when she's gonna want to go stay with her mom. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. So I'll use the pendulum real quick. Does it still look, Spirit, like Greg will reach out to Marissa by the end of July? Okay, that is a yes. It still feels like it. It is saying yes. Still feels like it. Oh, because it almost went to a circle. And when it goes to a circle, that's an I don't know, maybe. And yeah, I knew you would catch that, that it almost went to that, and then it decided to go yes. Um, as long as everything continues to go the way that we see it, and we continue to do readings and we keep manifesting it, I believe that it will happen in that time frame. And at the bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups because you guys at the end of the day are soulmates and you guys are romantic soulmates. Of course, we have friends soulmates. You're my soulmate. We have lots of soulmates in all fashions, but you are his romantic soulmate and he is yours. Yes, girl. So yeah, right now there's a lot of fighting over, splitting up, but if you look at the cards about you, it's like I want to reach out to her so bad. Um, I care about this girl so much. Can't stop thinking about her. And then you also have two aces. Both aces for me are a new month or 30 days. So either way, that lands you in July. I love it. I love it. That was a good. I was like, to the first question. I liked the second question, and I love this one. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. Just get your mom ready. Send me the question, and then she'll be the last person. Can you put in all caps that questions are closed for tonight? I can't wait. Well, he's not here anymore. So I went to look at him, but he's not there. Um, I can literally see him now. Uh, okay, so what he's doing right now is that he's leaving and he's already far. But the one thing I wanted to tell you is that he looked over his shoulder. You know, when you're like watching one of the rom coms and like they kind of have this like they walk away from each other and you're like, tell me if he looks back. Tell me if he looks back. That's what he just did. Like when you're interested in somebody and you like take that glance, he did that. Yeah, he's gone now. Okay, I'll be back in 5 minutes. So just text me your mama's question. I'll be right back. Yay, Marissa. Okay, going back to you. All right, Marissa, are you here? Evie, are you here? Okay, how soon? Oh, her question is, did Angie's reader tell her about me this past Saturday? Okay. Marissa, when you're here, say I'm here. Rob, how have you been? Are you here? Who's in here? Say hi. If you're just watching, you don't have to say hi. All right. All right, Marissa, is your mom here? Hi, Evie. All right, I'm gonna put time on the time on the clock because it's already 9 o'clock. I said 8:30. That did not happen. Oh well. All right, she's here. Okay, so Evie's question. So Jeremiah and Samantha, thank you so much for Marissa's questions. Please have every energy. Please leave. Let's bring in Evie, which is Marissa's mom. You know her by now. Her question is, what did Angie's reader tell her about her this past Saturday? Okay. Once again, the question is, what did Angie, the across the street neighbor, what did her reader tell Angie about Evie this past Saturday? All right, perfect. Okay. Jeez, the people that live upstairs are so annoying. It feels like they're gonna come crashing through the roof or the ceiling. All right, here we go. Angie, please come forward. What did your reader tell you about Evie during your reading this past Saturday? So you're wanting the reader's point of view, not Angie's. Okay. No matter what the questions were from Angie, Evie wants to know, Spirit, what did her reader say about her, about Evie? That's so funny. That's not funny. It's weird. So when I was just playing around, I this card came out, the full card, and I just put it back because I was like, well, I'm not doing the reading yet. I'm waiting for them to come in, and that's really weird that it came out. So I'm gonna put it back in, and if it comes out again, then it really means something. So let's see. All right. What did your reader tell you, Angie, about Evie, Evelyn? What did your reader tell you about your neighbor, Evie, Evelyn? What did your reader tell you about your neighbor, Evie, Evelyn? Oh my god, it came out. All right, I'm keeping it. Okay, so it's definitely overall talking about how to get you guys back as friends. But she did tell Angie. So it starts out like this. The Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is that okay, there's three cards. The Five of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, to the Death card, which represents you as the Scorpio. It also represents that this friendship is over and done with. Okay? So you've got three cards. So you want to look at the first card. It starts the story. So the Five of Pentacles is that you guys were friendly in the beginning at one time, and then you, the Scorpio, chose to walk away from that friendship. That the Five of Pentacles is that you rejected her, okay? And that you did it for your own reasons. Um, so then I'm hearing that Angie said, well, why did she walk away from me? And why has she continued to walk away from me? So this is really the death card, okay? You don't want a transformation. You don't want a second chance. You just want this perceived friendship of hers to be done, as if you guys never really got to know each other, never hung out, that it was just kind of a hey, neighborly hi here and there. Then we have the energy that is surrounding Miss Angie, the Emperor to the Five of Swords. Five of Swords being the worst card in the deck, 78 cards. The Emperor. This is representing Angie's demeanor. Okay? That Angie is not approachable. She's the emperor. She thinks she's better than everybody. She thinks that she's smarter than everybody. She thinks that she's right all the time. She's very righteous. She's very egotistical, and she feels that because you didn't want to be her friend, that it made Angie want to hurt you, whether it's your feelings, whether it's doing weird shit. Um, that this is not the energy that's going to get you to ever be her friend again. So basically, she said Angie has to change her spots. Okay, like she's got to change her striped spots, whatever that saying is. Um, that she then said, Angie, what do you want? She's showing you who she is and what she wants from you, which is not a friendship. So Angie said, the Two of Cups. This is crazy. The Two of Cups, the Four of Wands. So this is like the relationship. Like she's obsessed with you. The Full card is about like Angie's reader told her that she needs to be less involved and less caring about you and what you think of her. All right. The Fool is somebody that's carefree, that kind of is go with the flow, doesn't really care. And she's saying you're putting too much pressure on this person to be friends with you. Um, and she did ask her, oh my God, she did ask Angie, are you interested in her more than a friend? She asked her if she had romantic feelings for you because she said it's been however many months, however long it's been, and you're always brought up. Okay? Whether she's angry, whether she is like wanting to be your friend again, no matter what it is, you're always included in the readings. So this is crazy because the reader finally was like, oh, ding, 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 ding. It's been almost a year. Are you serious? 215 days since you last spoke to her. Okay. And so, of course, she wants Angie to keep coming back. She's not going to be like, you're the devil energy. You are toxic. She's not going to say that to Angie, but she is saying that her energy comes off as unapproachable and disruptive and obsessive and uh like she knows better than everybody and that if she doesn't get her way she's gonna take a knife and stab you, you know. um I want to know what she said to that question. This is a question to the reader, when you asked Angie if she had romantic feelings for Evelyn, what was her answer? She admitted it. She admitted it. Give me three cards. What was the answer when the reader? What was Angie's answer when you, the reader, asked her if she had romantic feelings or feelings more than a friend? What was her answer? Ah! Time just went out. Do you want to keep going? We're at a perfect. We're finally getting to the meat and the bones. Her husband honked and waved at Mark this morning. Oh my God. Keep going. Okay. I'll put on the I'll put on the time in 1 second. Okay, so here we go. Wow. Okay, so her answer was the moon. Like this is a secret. She hasn't told anybody. Her husband doesn't know. No friends know. Um, and here's the answer: the Three of Swords. That she did get hurt more like somebody who was like okay, she got more hurt than like a neighbor meeting a neighbor, kind of like being cool with the neighbor. Maybe, it would turn into a friendship, maybe not. And in this case, her spending time with you well over 215 days ago, this affected her because I think she did have some kind of interest, liking to you. So I'm going to read these two cards and then I'll add the time. So she asked her reader to make her not stuck. Thank you. To make her not stuck anymore and to heal her. So actually, no, that is not true. The reader, not Angie, said you are stuck in this energy and you need to tell me if you want me to heal you so that you can move on, or if you're going to stay in this stuck energy, not leaving this woman alone. And so I want to know what that answer was. What was the answer? Did Angie say yes or no to being healed? Fucking knew it. She turned down her reader who said, I can heal you. I can get you out of this. Yeah, I can get you out of this. Whole answer is weird. This whole answer is weird. The Eight of Swords. She wants to stay in the Eight of Swords, which is a stuck energy, instead of being released from it. Because healing is I can help you release that stuck energy. And instead, she says, no, I choose to stay in it. And it makes sense because earlier the Six of Wands was there, and I thought, what is that there for? That means the Six of Wands is that there's going to be many, many challenges. But in her head, she thinks it's going to lead to a victory. In this case, it's going to lead nowhere, but maybe like her being accosted at some point. So let's put 5 more minutes on the clock. Oh my God. Okay. What else, reader? What else did you tell Angie about Evelyn? I'm only saying Evelyn because I think that that's how she names you. Okay, reader, what else did you tell Angie when she had her reading with you this past Saturday? What else came up? She's very okay. So the reader knows that, like, by things that Angie says, she's extremely jealous of your marriage. Not only the marriage, but we've talked about this 100 times, but the family dynamic, the fact that you guys are really tight, that there seems to be no, crazy fights or anything. And so she sees that, she wants that. So she's very like, but then she looks at her husband and is like, and he looks at her the same way. So I think that that's, look, I'm not saying anything because Spirit is saying, like, what's wrong with her, like, liking Evelyn. It's not about sexuality. I'm bisexual. Like, it has nothing to do with sexuality that I'm thinking she's weird. I just think it's weird to be married and know that you're married and to have met you a handful of times that you guys hung out, maybe over 215 days ago, and to still have this, her claws in you, for some reason. That's the weird shit. Okay, so yeah, see, we've got toxicity, we've got some kind of a, thank God, like, this isn't a relationship because there's no soul tie. Thank God. So you're protected um from the devil energy because you've never joined forces with her to make some kind of a soul tie, right? So it shows that like you're good on your end. On your end, you're protected. And I know it sucks that like you're just like, I just don't get it. Like I just don't get why my name is in her mouth. And it does show that the reader told Angie that like she needs to kind of try to like stay away or do things that makes her unattached to you. Um, but the fact is she's the client, right? Angie's the client. So if the client is like, no, you're wrong, no, this will happen, no, and she's like fighting the reader, first of all, I would never read for that person ever again, but this reader will. Um, so it feels like she, for the first time, tried to push her down the right direction to detach from you because she is saying, worry about your own family, worry about your husband, your kids, yourself. Find something that's going to make you happy, find a hobby, and like try to disconnect from your neighbor. Um, she could say that, but it goes in one ear and out the other with Angie because Angie is toxic. And so she's going to have these thoughts and these actions. But thankfully, you didn't entertain her long enough to make you guys bonded. All right? So feel that you are protected and kind of laugh at what she says because this is retarded. See, they're showing me this again. Time's up. She's showing me this again, this energy. Let her be in this energy. Let her be crazy. The eight of, okay, so the energy is the eight of swords again. This stuck on you energy that she feels she has no control over it because you're your own person. You get to decide if you want to be friends with somebody or not. You choose not to be friends with her. That's it. There's nothing she can do. So she's in that stuck uh energy. But she's also in the Nine of Swords, which shows that this bothers her. This gives her anxiety, insomnia. It's weird. She's obsessed. I do think at some point in the future, you should think about me cutting the cord that she believes she has with you. I don't believe there's an actual cord, but we need to cut the cord that she thinks she has with you so that it gets diminished and she no longer has that connection. So think about it in the future. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. 9:30. It's 11:30 where you're at. I hope you're off tomorrow, Marissa. Thank you guys for coming in. Yeah, think about it. Okay, love you guys. Yes, get some sleep. Get some sleep. I'm gonna go cook. You go shower. Good night. Message you soon. Yes. Love you. You're welcome. Thank you.